Link is in the house. Yes, yes, yes. It is that time once again. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yes. We have a great topic tonight. It is on black labor and white wealth. So tune in, listen, call in 515-599-1687. If you have an opinion or if you want to get in on the topic, call in. Talk to us. We'll talk back.
Most definitely. Most definitely. We got a lot of talk back. That's for sure. All right.
So we can jump right on in. It speaks for itself. Black labor. How do we break that down? Black labor and white wealth. All our life. That's all I can say.
The best way to break it
Right.
down is
All our
look at
life.
this country, look at this
Man.
world. You know what I mean? The whole world has been built on that topic right there. You
That's
know?
right. You stand on grounds of greatness. Most definitely. Standing on grounds of greatness. The blood, sweat, and tears of all of our years have been fought for what is rightfully ours. And do we still have it? No. We don't even have a piece of it yet that we deserve. Not at all. Most definitely.
Church.
Yes. So, this country was built on the backs of black blood, sweat, and tears. Let that sink in for a minute. Every time it is that we walk out the door and we see certain buildings, certain fixtures, the lights, the street lights, when we look at, hey, the pavement on the streets, when we use the products that we use in our hair, and now they're trying to say that those products is causing cancer. Why? Why are you gonna say that now?
Because they done got
Most
rich off of it.
Exactly. They're trying to find a new product to get paid
Yeah,
off of for us.
exactly.
You know?
That's right. Yes. So, hey, we have to stand up most definitely and, take back what is ours. And it's a continuous fight. And you know what? I was listening to Tupac earlier, and like Tupac stated, I don't know if you all have seen the documentary of his mom. But anyway, Tupac stated, he don't know, he definitely wasn't gonna see it in his lifetime, and his mom wasn't gonna see it in her lifetime, and we may not see it in our lifetime when it is that we will, conquer and achieve and take back what is ours. But it's going to happen. Racial equality, no, it's equal justice for us. Equal justice for us. So we gotta get back what is ours. I was talking to a young man that kind of asked an interesting question. He said, we always make that statement, 40 acres and a mule. But let me just ask, and I would love to hear from our listeners. And Fastlane and Miss Kiwi, I want to hear what you think about this. If we don't use mules. First and foremost, we don't even have the land to have mules on. But if we had those 40 acres, because some of us have it in our family line, what would we do with it? What would we do with it?
Wow,
We talk about it. What will we do with it?
Well, I would cultivate. I would learn how to grow crops. Because we don't realize how much money that these farmers are making off of the farming. Like a lot of these small towns that we drive through and stuff, when we see all these farmlands and stuff, they're really making good money in those towns, really. You know what I mean? It might look like the setup is poor with certain houses we seeing. That's because they're investing in the land around us, and they feeding these grocery stores. They feeding a lot of different stores. Small moms and pop stores are buying a lot of groceries from them too and selling it to us. So it's very important that we learn how to grow our own vegetables, our own food. So like those 40 acres, we need to go back. Our ancestors was leaving us a blueprint, you know what I mean? Like they showed other people that came into this country how to survive off of the land. And that's how they was also able to conquer our land, you know what I mean? Because when you control the food, you control the people, so it's very important we learn how to agriculture again. You know what I mean? It's very important.
That's right. Learning how to sharecrop, how to we did it, when it was that our ancestors were apartheid, I'll say, for our oppressors. Then they tilled and grew that corn, grew that cotton, grew those greens and all the soul food that we know how to cook. So why not us? Why not us? Why can't we do it? Why can't we plant a garden? Our very own grandmother, she was a sharecropper in herself. She had her garden in her backyard and grew everything.
Right.
And hey, we used to eat that, eat it up. I'm telling you, eat
so
it up.
Good.
It
Fresh
tastes way
vegetables.
different, yeah.
Without all the chemicals and all
Yeah.
that.
Yep. Most definitely. And honestly, that's how it is that she took care of her family, because she used to sell dinners. And when I say that the cooking was real, the cooking was real. She was her own entrepreneur. So, hey, entrepreneurship is in our bloods. It's just what it is that we need to do with it. And, we know that our oppressors are getting over. When I say getting over, they're getting over, because we're giving them all of that time when it should be time that we can take back and spend some of it on what it is that we need to do for ourselves and create that, create that business, I'll say, that business. And we need to cultivate our children to get them started very early.
Yeah, get back to that Black Wall Street.
Yes,
Wall
yes,
Street.
most definitely. And just like you kind of mentioned that, Miss Kiwi, I was reading this book earlier when we had decided that this was the topic that we were going to talk about. There is a book out there
It's
on
a lot
black
of books.
labor and white.
It's a couple of
wealth.
books. Yes. Claude Anderson, he wrote one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has a very good book on black labor and white wealth.
Yes. And what it does is it tracks slavery and the Jim Crow. Is anybody familiar with the Jim Crow laws?
A little bit, yeah. I am a little bit.
We still falling victim to that right now.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
He gave
Yes,
us a blueprint
we
on
are.
how to put that foot on our neck and teach us how to hate ourselves and praise others and worship other men, and how to detach the man from the head of the household, and you could control the house. You know what I mean? Like it's very important. We know that. That's why like they got us so filled with so much different information that we don't look back to see who we really are. You know what I mean? We've been taught like don't look back, but we got to know where we came in order to know where we going. You know what I mean? And that means even our ancestors and our ancestors, because we don't even understand what we feeling when certain things was put on us, that it was a plan that it would affect our kids and their kids and their kids. You know what I mean? And now we went from the people that taught everybody how to grow, how to eat, how to survive in the different seasons and all that. Now we depend on everybody for mostly our food, everything. Like, we go to the Arabs or the Chinamans for the chicken, or the rice. And don't get me wrong, I'm a Chinaman eating person. I eat it a lot, you know what I'm saying? But
Yes.
we went from being the ones who provided all the meals. You know what I mean? They brought our sisters into the houses to cook for them and teach them, whoever them is,
Be the
whoever was
mothers
in
to their
power.
children.
Taught them how to set up, how to set up their castles and how to live as royalty, you know what I mean? And now we depend on everybody for everything, even our daily meals, you know what I mean? So we got to get back to, we got to tap back into ourselves as who we are, you know what I mean? We thinking we going forward, but we really pushing ourselves away from the culture of who we are as a people, you know what I mean? Because we are those providers. We the ones who, we wrote the blueprints to all this stuff, and now we depending on somebody else to show us. When really we the ones, so we got to know who we is again. You know what I mean? We got to tap back into ourselves.
So,
Yes.
so where do you all think that we lost that? Like, where do you actually think? I mean, I know you can't really pinpoint, but just generally speaking, or just in you all's opinion, where do you really think that we as the people lost that?
It played a major part of when we was divided as far as like when they started putting like titles on people and tried to make us think we was different from each other. We was all divided, so we stopped supporting each other. You know what I mean? They started making light skin feel a certain way towards dark skin feel a certain way, and we all come from the same cloth. You know what I mean? Like, so we was divided, and then it became mental where we didn't support each other no more. You know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
go ahead, Miss Mink.
No, I was just going to say, and that's absolutely correct, because when I was just thinking back to what it was that Dr. Andrews had wrote in his book in reference to, how it is that Jim Crow, those are public policies that use Black labor to construct a superpower nation. We live in a superpower nation. Just think about the power that we've given to somebody else, but we built it. We originally had it. Black people, we were a society that we were engineered into the lowest level of a real life monopoly game, basically. So when you look at it, we never got a chance, or we never took the chance to, after a certain period of time, to pass go. We got stuck at go. We either got stuck at go, or we'd move on down and get stuck in jail. And that's where it is that they want us. And now we even going around, on boardwalk to boardwalk, instead of us building up our castles and building up our buildings and, having that boardwalk lifestyle, we killing each other. So, we're taking for granted what it is that our blood, sweat, and tears for all these many years have really, really built this nation upon. I know when we was talking about this topic and we were going to talk about it, Fastlane, you had made mention of something that was very, very interesting. Do you remember what it was?
No, what's that?
A lot of stuff.
Fresh
About that who that used to be a president.
The president.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, he had made a statement that that I didn't hear when he was in office, but I heard it later, and he said that it was to the indigenous people of this land, the so-called Black people, that we have built everything in this world, and we still haven't been, recognized for it. You know what I mean? We still haven't, we haven't got paid for it. You know what I mean? Like, you when you saying 40 acres and a mule, and when we think about all that, who sold the land first? Who got the check first? You know what I mean? And where did that money go then? Because if our ancestors got the check first, who took the money back? You know what I'm saying? Like, like most people that we see with a lot of land, it's a lot of money that come with it when they sell it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, it's like we as a people, we really been robbed of our greatness, and we've been robbed of all the great things we have accomplished. So it's going to come a time where the royalty checks got to roll in. But, it's not about a handout. We got to really know who we is and take position, because one thing we got to know, we can't expect somebody else to respect us if we don't respect ourselves.
Exactly.
You know what
Absolutely.
I mean?
And then sometimes you got to look at the fact that, everybody, this statement sounds a little, but everybody can't stand to be blessed. And what that means is that a lot of people are not steward over small things. So just imagine if he make you steward over those great things, you will lose your mind. You're losing your mind because you can't handle just that small little thing. And that's how I feel he tests us. And with this Black labor, we have been doing Black labor since I was born in this world and way before me. Because if you think about it, we have invented a lot of things that make the world run. but they dangled that little bit of change in our face, and we sold that billion-trillion-dollar dream idea, and that little trinket was gone the next month, and that's how they've been getting us. And until we start waking up, reading more, understanding what you're signing, because a lot of times we sign our name away. We quick to put our name on a dotted line, but we got to know what we're signing, because we ain't got nothing. But they steady getting rich.
That's just like our social security number. It's really a tax ID number. You know what I'm saying? And just because of your social, they said your social alone is worth $1 million, but why we can't cash that milli out on ourselves? You know what I mean?
Because it ain't worth $1
Because
million
it
to
ain't
us.
yours.
Okay. Yeah.
It ain't yours. You was given that by the government, and hey,
Yeah.
that's just like, they take that social security number away if it is that you get locked up and you given another number.
Okay.
What kind of number is it that you're giving? Your social security number don't mean nothing at that point when it is that you become a part
That's
of
because they not getting paid on that social security no more. They getting paid on that jailhouse number. That's how that is. You know, and that's another part of black labor.
No, but they getting paid on both social security numbers, though. Even the ones that's not locked up. That's what we got to know, though. Our social security number, we're being taxed on our social security number. That's where our taxes, they're taxing every dollar you making with your name attached to it. You know what I mean? But where is it going? You know what I mean? Where is it going? That's the question we ain't really asking. You know what I mean? Because, like, this government, they steady soaking, they taking in, but it's not being invested back into our government, it seems like. You know what I mean? Like, so all this labor we putting in, we got to know that number means something. It's very important. You know what I mean? They gave us that number for a reason. You know what I mean? Because they keeping a track of each one of us with our social security number. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and they keep the racism thing going on. You know, they keep that going on. We gonna always be the lowest on the totem pole. Everything that deals with the color black, which even though they don't understand that even a white person has black in it. Yeah. So, but everything is always geared to the black person, except for when we giving them our ideals and making them money. Then they loving us to death. But as soon as we hand that formula over, then you done. They don't need you no more. And you go back to the po house. You know what I'm saying? So we got to start thinking about those things. We got to start instilling this in our children. Because, even with our children, though, nobody's promised the next 5 minutes. But you have to take that time that you do have on this earth, and you got to get back to the basics. Y'all talk about how times and change. It has. And you do have to keep up with the times, but you have to go back to the basics sometime and reevaluate and relearn some things because you probably didn't get it back then,
Because when you look at it, like times have changed, but, like certain things make you wonder, are we going forward or is we going backwards? You know what I'm saying? Because no matter how much it seems like we're going forward, a lot of our thinking has been dumbed down. You know what I'm saying? We had energy that we move things without all the technology. You know what I'm saying? And even when they had us thinking we didn't have electricity, it was electricity in the pyramids. You know what I mean? So, like, we was way more advanced without certain things they got us thinking we need. You know what I mean? Because the point is, our body ourself is an energy. You know what I mean? We just not tapped into our energies right. You know what I mean? And, like, we got to teach our kids who they is because it's way more to us than what we see. You know what I mean? And that's how they using us because they know. That's why everything is focused on the black because we've been designing and creating everything from the beginning. And like you said, they take it and they get paid off of it. Well, it's time for us to wise up and protect ourselves and teach each other how to protect ourselves. You know what I mean? Because that's the biggest thing. They teach each other how to win. You know what I mean? We preying on each other losses more than we teaching each other how to win. And then we complain about the results. You know what I mean? It's time for us to come together. Those that's with it and those that ain't, they gonna stay stuck. You know what I mean? Because everybody can't go. Everybody ain't thinking bigger than just where they at, you know what I mean, or helping others or trying to help each other build. So we got to come together and wise each other up, you know what I mean, teach each other how to make better business deals, you know, better business plans, and teach each other how to write out a business plan, you know.
Yeah, we most definitely do. You know, I was reading another article, and it stated between the 1830 and 1927, as the last generation of blacks were born into slavery, was reaching, as they were reaching maturity, they broke the ground to attain the highest levels of financial success. One of them's name was Mary Ellen Pleasant. She became the largest landowner in Tennessee. Hannah Elias, she used money from her rich millionaire and she built an empire in Harlem. So y'all remember Harlem Nights?
Mm-hmm.
An orphan and self-taught chemist, Anne Toombo Malone, she developed the national brand of hair care products. Wow. And she was the first to develop the national brand of hair care products. And then a Mississippi school teacher, O.W. Gurley, developed a piece of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I guess you all know what that was. Black Wall Street. Yeah. And, you know, we give Madam C.J. Walker her ultimate props. And, you know, because she was the first one to come out and say that she was the wealthiest woman in the, you know, in the world of her time. However, she really wasn't. There were others that was before her, but because it was that they were not, you know, so forthcoming, then they never became recognized. And we have so many great contributors to what it is that, you know, we're building towards now, that had, you know, attempted and built that wealth for themselves back in the day, even before, you know, our mom's time. But, you know, they never were recognized. Why? Because a lot of their inventions and a lot of their wealth was crumbled, taken away from them. And then our labor, as we are talking about tonight, became the success of our oppressor. So yes, we most definitely, we gotta get it back. We gotta get it back, and we gotta get it going so that we can get it back, most definitely.
So if you all have any suggestions, or if you would like to get in on this conversation, call in 515-599-1687. Black labor and white wealth. What you think about that? Talk to us. We're going to talk back.
Most definitely. We will. You know, I was thinking about that Tennessee Democrat, those young men that, you know, represented in the House of Representatives for Tennessee. And because it was that they were fighting, or they had they were protesting. And even though it is that young man brought people onto the House floor, he still was fighting for a cause. Wow. And who do they think that they had the right to vote him out? Well, wow. Guess what? He's back. He's back.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, it's time we gotta start standing up. We gotta stand up. And I ain't just saying standing up. I'm saying you gotta stand up and stand for something, because we gotta stop falling for everything. Yes. Anything that's dangled in our face, we gotta stop. Because if you sit down and you think and you research, you'll find that, you know, hey, black people make a lot of things in the world go round.
Yes.
Yes, we have we have always been survivors, hard workers. I mean, you know, that's even back in, I'll say, biblical times. You know, we've always been those hard-working laborers. And so, you know, why not take it to the highest level, since that's in our blood. It is truly in our blood. It's truly
We've
in
been
our
building
blood.
from way back, you know. That's what we got to know. We was those pyramid builders. They wanted us to believe it was somebody else, you know what I mean? And to know that you come from that, that means you could build an empire again. It could be done again. You know what I mean? And that's why they always taught us our story only went back to slavery, because that's what they wanted us to think, as we just some laborers. We only could do, you know what I mean? We could work for somebody. They ain't taking us all the way back to the times when we was bosses. And even during those times, we taught them how to run the farms. We taught them, and even and a lot of our ancestors was hired help. They wasn't no slaves. They was hired help because they already had knew the land. They took care of this land already. They already had the land ready to grow crops because they was growing crops already. So when they came in and took it from them, all they did was, we might as well hire y'all, and y'all could still stay on y'all land because y'all know the land better than everybody else. Because if you ain't gonna bring somebody from Florida to St. Louis and they gonna just go in one of our backyards and start farming. You see what I'm saying? Because you got to know the land. You see what I'm saying? You got a certain land is swampy, certain land flood a lot, you know what I mean? Certain land stay dry, you know what I mean? Some land is, certain grounds is moist, you know what I mean? And to know that, though, you had to be in the land to know it, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. And it just go back to knowing that, like, when I talk about pyramid builders, that mean, like, we built pyramids and empires that's still standing thousands and thousands of years later. And that was our ancestors reminding of us of our power within us when we tap into ourselves more, you know.
But that's why it's called his story. It's his story, and it's not our story.
Yeah, it's time for us to give them our story.
Exactly.
Now,
you know what I'm saying? We was taught his story, not our his story. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a big difference.
It's time to relearn.
Exactly.
And that was part of that Jim Crow law too. He said that he would teach us the lie. He would teach us to believe a lie so much that we wouldn't even want to hear the truth when it was in front
of us. And look at it.
And that's where we at now.
Man.
You know, the moment you start telling us who we are, we start saying, no, that ain't us. That ain't us. That ain't us. They said we were so. They said. It's always they said. But what we don't realize is God is so powerful. He put within you, your body, your spirit, your soul feel certain things. You feel certain things that's in you that reminds you of who you was and who your people was and what's in you and what's your capability. It's just we ignore ourselves a lot. You know what I mean? We quick to listen to the outside source of ourselves quicker than to listen to ourselves.
Yes. And you know what? And you made a good point, especially when it was that you were talking in reference to the education piece, because when you're not educated and say, for instance, you're out there trying to start a business, then believe me, our oppressors will try to take advantage of you. So I'll give an example of me. So I have my own cleaning business here in Atlanta. And I go to a lot of big houses, huge, where I give quotes and stuff. And when I go to these houses, the first thing that I hear is, how much do you charge? And so I'm going through and I'm giving them my quotes and my prices. Now, when I first started the business, not knowing the ins and outs of everything, but knowing a little bit, then I started to underquote myself for these big houses that I was going in, and even being told, oh, you're too expensive. I used to have a young lady that cleaned my house for $100 and some.
So why she still have?
I'll give an example. It was a 42 or 4,500 square foot home. So you already know this is a big house. And she wanted to tell me, because I was charging still low, 10 cents per square foot, she gonna tell me I was too much, that she only paid $150. I said, well, what room did she clean? She said, no, it was my whole house. Girl. I said, well, ma'am, here's the thing. Is there a reason why she's not here now?
Okay.
And she said, well, she had a baby and she never came back.
You think?
Right. I said, well, maybe after she, considers it, she'll have to come back, because I'm not budging on what it is that I charge. And I had one of my clients, she told me, she said, let me tell you something. She said, you, not that I didn't already know this, but because I had to tell one of my clients that's an Indian from, the Western Asian. And he was making it seem like I was coming in as his maid. I own my own business. My rules are my rules, and how it is that I clean. When I come in and I give you a quote, I'm letting you know what it is that I do. Then from that point on, you don't tell me, well, I need this itch, because it's extra. It'll be extra.
Exactly.
So
you don't let nobody tell you how to run your company, because they're not
right.
going to let you tell them how to run theirs.
Exactly.
So,
That's
you know,
right.
and people got to understand that too. People are nickel and dime you all day long, but you know what I learned? Hey, just keep on adding them nickel and dimes up, baby, and when you get where I need you to be, come holler at me. And it ain't nothing less or nothing more. It's just what it is, what it is. So.
That's right. She said, my client, she told me, she said, this is a luxury that, we get you come in and you do your specialties that you do and all this stuff. She said, this is, those days are been over. She said, now I'm pretty sure that there are still, those people that, are, maids that are hired on as maids, but you have to let people know that your potential and your job is much different. So if they want this luxury that you are providing, then they have to pay for it. She said, I'm paying for it. And I was like, yes, you are. We have to educate ourselves so that we'll know the ins and outs. And when it is that we're educated and we know the ins and outs, then we can stand strong, confident, and let them pay. Exactly. This is what it is. It ain't no changing up and all that stuff. I may offer you some sweet little gifts or whatever because it is that you are my client, coming on as my client, but just know that I am providing you with a service and I can choose to provide it or not to provide it.
Exactly.
Yes, so we have to make sure that, we're educated. We have those rules and regulations that we have to do when it is that we're starting our own business. But I just feel that it's time out for our labor to, our blood, sweat, and tears to be justified or written off as, okay, thank you.
But, that goes back to until we really start standing up for ourselves. Because, if we don't stand up for ourselves, they're going to continue to do us like that because they feel like, oh, we can dangle just a little something in front of them and they going to go for it. Because they try to keep us in the poorhouse anyway. But, hey.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, but the thing of it is that if you really think about it, you're not a poor person. You just think poor. You act off of emotions that they have told you and how you should act.
Exactly.
But if you think about it, hey, every woman has a hustle in them, and you should never be poor.
Look, let me tell you a mean hustle that we don't realize, and I'm not on a religious kick or debating about nothing as far as what it means, and then I'm just saying it's from a business point of view. Do we realize, like, after Thanksgiving, they give you Black Friday, right? Now, Black Friday, what you do, they giving you great deals. They motivate you to want to go spend some money because they telling you they giving you a deal. Now, Black Friday hit you, bang. You done spent that money, right? Now, right after Black Friday, week or two come up, now you looking at Christmas shopping because now you in the mood to spend money. Everybody go broke for Christmas. You done spent your money for Christmas, right? Now, right after Christmas, boom, it's a new year. New Year's Eve hit you right after Christmas, right? You want to bring the New Year's in right. So you done went shopping, got Dougie. You're still in spending mode. You see what I'm saying? So right after New Year's Eve, boom. Now we're going to give you some income tax money while you're still in the spending mode. You're going to still spend even more money. And who getting paid off all that? The people who own all these businesses that's teaching us to follow from Easter to all these different holidays that's hitting us back to back while we out celebrating it. They sitting up building empires off of, they making sure every other month it's a holiday that's going to hit you where you're going to go spend some more money. And after those income tax hit you, now you can win a whole year. Now you got that thirst in your mouth where you want to spend some more money, and it's more money, and it's gonna keep hitting you. Now the summertime hit, and it led you all the way into the summertime. You still in spending mode, even though you done went broke.
Do you all remember when they tried to do? I don't know if they tried to make it a holiday or if it was just a one day thing when they tried to get all the black people not to patronize.
The nation.
Yeah,
So
what happened to that?
Nobody did it. And see, the nation they asked they. I'm not sure exactly who said it, but they figured that. They said that if everybody every black person in the United States stayed home for one day, didn't go spend a dime. They say this whole country would feel it. They say the world will feel it. They gonna feel it.
Yeah.
They gonna feel it. That's how much money we spending that's not going back into our community. Like Black Wall Street, they said the money circulated at least 33 times before it left out the community.
Yep.
They said now our money leaves our community as soon as it touch our hand. No, soon as it touch our hand.
And never come back.
That means it's gone. As soon as we go shopping somewhere, it's leaving out our community.
That's right. And you're absolutely right. You know, there was a consumer consensus that was done as far as expenditures by black households. And that totaled in the year of 2020, $835 billion.
Wow.
I can believe that. Because I'm going to tell you something. Our people going to spend that money. Yeah. And they going to go spend it with everybody except for our people. Now, don't get me wrong, because I will say this. Our people got to be more business-fied, too. Because a lot of us open up businesses, but we don't have the right attitude, or we don't try to really make our business where it be successful because we too busy thinking about that right now. Oh, I got to get that money right now. And you know you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's just, we got to do better in doing business, because we as a people too, we have really not learned. And I'm not saying every business. I'm just saying a lot of business have not learned how to really do business. It's nothing wrong with learning something. Get up under somebody or go to a class or read about it, or really, it's nothing wrong with that. A lot of us feel like we just can open up a business and bam, there it go.
So tell me this.
Check this out. Okay. You know what they call us? We're a $300 million opportunity. Each black person is a $300 million opportunity. And when we think about it, we also are making China rich. We have made China rich. China, the Asian
everybody.
We done made everybody rich but our own people.
But he did say the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. So look at it. Even right now, everybody. That's what I mean by we buying everything from. Our money is leaving our community as soon as it touch our hands, because they got something for us. They got the stores. They got everything we need. They got the Carlots. They got the Chinamans, the big grocery stores, the small grocery stores, the neighborhood grocery stores, the chicken joints. We used to be the chicken kings. Now we love chicken, but we ain't got enough chicken joints of our own, just being honest. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it might sound small, but look what Wingstop's doing though. They making a killing off us again. You know what I mean? And I ain't knocking it because it's all business, but that mean we gotta wake up though. You know what I'm saying? We can't think just because we got some dollars in our hand that we just blow it. We could spend that money wisely and make it last forever and last for other people too. And that's we gotta get back to that point. We gotta think outside of our own box. Like it's bigger than us. And as a people, we not moving as a unit. You know what I mean? We moving more selfishly because it's like we don't care. And we falling victim. And when you see the people that's moving as a unit, that's why they got these gas stations and these big companies right before our eyes and buying all of our real estate, buying all of that, because once again, same way we lost our land, we losing it again because we don't realize that it's very important. These little neighborhoods that's got all these vacant buildings and all that. They coming in buying them for nothing and building nice neighborhoods right before our eyes.
And right in our neighborhoods, just because so they can get our money.
Money.
And guess what we gonna do? We gonna keep on going
Spending
to give them our money. But then on the backside, we gonna go talk about them behind their back.
And we not gonna support each other.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
But like I said,
that's the bad thing. So, that's a big thing of why it is that we're speaking about what we're speaking about tonight. With our Black labor, we go to work hard every day. And then we go and spend it hard every day with someone outside of our own people.
And then they're going to look at us like we ain't nothing.
Nothing.
Because how we treat it goes back to how we treat
each
ourselves,
other.
though. You know what I mean? We treat each other like we ain't nothing. How you gonna expect somebody else to look at you like you're great? And they know who we is, though. That's the catch, though.
That's why they keep dangling everything to keep our mind off of it.
We was shipped it around, but they was sitting in our pyramids that we built. You know what I mean? Enjoying it. All that oil money and all that. That was from our ancestors. You know what I mean? Like, when we know the land, then we know that was the wealth of the land for the people of that land. And even in this land, in this country, we got to know it's a reason why they wanted this land. You see what I'm saying? It's a reason why everybody want to get to this country. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much we visit all those different places, they all trying to get to this land for some reason. And they coming with their head on right, and they buying. It's an opportunity in this land. You know what I mean? And we got to wake up the people of this land and
take advantage of that opportunity.
Exactly.
Most definitely.
We can't keep on giving them the reason. We got to get on our mastermind and start thinking outside of the box of the what ifs and all that and just go head first. Like, I was looking at a motivational speaker said that, most millionaires he interviewed, he said that most of them said they became millionaires. They lost a lot of businesses. They failed first before they got successful. They had to keep going, though. You know what I mean? They kept trying. And, so we got to be willing to take a chance. You know what I mean? We got to be willing to go ahead and, if we believe in ourselves and believe in our idea, go for it. We can't keep on sharing our big ideas with these small-minded people around us because everybody's not thinking big. So we can't expect them to. You got to be able to get around those that's thinking the same way you're thinking and get on that level. And we got to push those that's ready, because we all want more. We not going about it the right way. You know what I mean? We still moving selfishly, like we out here by ourselves.
But I'm gonna be honest with you though. Some of your ideas, you better keep them to yourself until you get to that right person. Because sometimes you just get out there and get to telling your ideas to everybody, and they done took it, and the next thing you know, that idea they done came up, and you looking like, dang, I thought of that. I thought of that, but you ain't put it into fruition to make it come to true. So you gotta watch. Hey, listen, if you comfortable, then that means you ain't doing enough. Because you should never be comfortable. You should never be comfortable. If you comfortable in where you at, that means you're not doing enough. That means that you need to get up, get out, and get something. Make it happen. All you got, it don't take much. It don't take much. If you believe in it, then you can make it happen. Because you the one got to believe in it first before anybody else can believe in it.
That's right. So, and we do have some very successful, brown skinned people, very successful. And we have a lot of very successful brown skinned people there in St. Louis and Atlanta and everywhere. It's just not the vast majority as it is in other races. Is not the vast majority in ours. And we know that we have the most difficulty with doing that. But one thing that I have started to really pay attention to is how it is that I save my money. And regardless of whether we have to beat them at our own game, because it is that we have this number strapped to our back. And the expectation is that our credit is supposed to be, a certain level before it is that we can get any help. We need to start saving our money. Somebody had asked me once before in reference to, I have a few different bank accounts. However, my main bank account is that address of my address, because I know that, I don't have to worry about whatever money it is that I'm saving and I'm keeping, in my own little safe, even though it's not drawing what people say is interest, which that interest is so little to you don't barely see it no way, because the banks charge you for different accounts that you have. So that interest that you gaining is drizzled away anyway, but it's protected.
Well, if you think about it, if you really pay attention, money is becoming obsolete anyway. Money is becoming the digital currency now. So, a lot of that, listen, if you don't have no money, you need to kind of start saving some. But
get something fast.
Exactly. But even with that, you still got to watch that, because, like I said, them dollar bills is becoming obsolete.
Yeah, right now as we speak. The catch is, it's American money has really lost its value because the gold is not backing it. You know what I mean? So we need to start really getting our money together and start buying gold ASAP. This is really emergency for real, because the point is, like, when they trying to get it to one currency. And once they got it on one currency, then that's controlling, it's a world currency, meaning no matter where you go, the value is going to be the same. You know what I mean? So that means that American dollar that we thought we used to go in other countries and get way more money for.
Man.
Now, some countries don't even want our money. You know what I mean? So we really got to get it together, because, like, that illusion has been, that wool that's been pulled over our eyes has been pulled up now, because people are seeing that America can be bought, and they buying our country right before our eyes. You know what I mean? They buying it right before our eyes. And like, they had us on some go back to Africa when we really from this land. And it's mighty funny that Africans running over here too. You see what I'm saying? And they buying it too. You know what I mean? They buying it too, so we can't knock the hustle. We just got to get on our hustle fast, because it's some behind the scene action going on that we're not involved in.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But you know what? And actually, I'm gonna say this, and I kind of talked to in reference to just talking to individuals that are not from this country. Once it is, let me tell you, once it is that when we say that they coming over here to, get away from their country or whatever, but they coming over here because, as you mentioned earlier, this is an opportunist country. So they're able to come over here, and when they come, they build up wealth over here. Do you know where it's going back to?
Back to where they go, where they from. Yeah.
Homeland.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Homeland.
Yeah.
I have a young lady. It's a young lady that I work with at Walmart, and she's from Kenya. And she has, her and her husband, since they've been over here, have purchased 4 Airbnbs. Do you know where those 4 Airbnbs are?
Over there.
They're not in the United States. That's for sure. She has one in Paris. She has one in South Africa, and she has 2 in Egypt. So they, come on over to this opportunist, and we're missing the boat.
Yeah, because they got us chasing the other illusion.
Yeah.
We so caught up on black and white and racism, and we know it's real, but they ain't focusing on it. They worrying about getting to that bag. See, that's the difference. They thinking tax brackets while we thinking about what they ain't gave us or why we ain't got this.
Yep.
No, we need to start. That's that small level thinking. It's time to level up as far as our mind state. That's what move mountains, how we think. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody gonna hand it to us. We gotta think different about ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta know that we deserve this, and it's ours to take, because it's ours. You know what I mean? We didn't put in the work. We didn't put in the time. We deserve it. And we got to believe that. You know what I mean? And that's how people come here. When they say it's the land of the opportunity, they come here with money on their mind. And they getting them opportunities and they sending it back home to their people. And they letting their people know we came to do what we did and we making sure y'all know it, because that's why we able to send this bag back home. You know, I had an African brother. He told me, he said, brother, do you know one year in y'all neighborhood, we sold so many white tees that we practically made $500,000.
I can believe that.
In 6 months.
I can believe
$500,000, he said, and the reason why he know exactly because he was shipping the money home to his people over where he from, and the government jumped down on them because they was wondering where all that money was coming from, and it was off of white T-shirts.
That's
white
right.
T-shirts that we constantly buy all day.
all day. But we ain't gonna purchase none from each other though.
Nah.
Hey, let them get a little spot on that white tea, baby. They finna pull up on any gas station and they gonna go get that white tea, baby. You better know that. Throw that one in the back and throw on that fresh one
all day.
Keep on moving.
That's why you got a network too, because since it is that young lady told me, I think I was telling you, Miss Kiwi, that Walmart, the one that I live by, they have a real bad habit of overstocking. So when it is that they overstock and the big wigs come in, they gotta get that merchandise up out of that store because it does more damage to the books than being in the store. So when I say they mark it down to little or nothing. And when I say every African that works in that store, when they mark it down, they purchasing it all up and sending it right over to Africa.
Oh yeah.
One of the young ladies, she told me, she said, yes, she said, I got 2 stores over there. She said, I have 2 stores. She said, and that's the reason why it is. She be sending shoes, whatever, purses, clothes, when they mark down cosmetics, everything. She buys in her basket. She have 2 and 3 baskets. So I told her the other night when she told me about it, because I didn't know about the markdown that they had on some of these clothes. She said, Michelle, you better go over there. They're only $1. These bibs are only $1. So I'm getting ready to talk to her about how I can set up a store over there in Africa. I know I'm gonna have to go visit, but set up a store over there in Africa so I can get in on the goods too. Cause hey, I'm telling you, yes, this is the land of opportunity.
Yeah. We gotta start making that black labor work for us, not just it work. We working for it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta make it work for us.
We done wore them backs out.
I'm
it's time
telling
for us
you,
to get back to royalty status. You know what I mean?
Know
we gotta
it.
think like the great builders. It's time for us to take our position.
We gotta stop looking at.
Shout out
this
to
color.
those entrepreneurs that's out here on their entrepreneurship doing great. Shout out to those black businesses that steady pushing. We all back on our Black Wall Street shit. You know what I mean? We finna get it. It's our time. And no disrespect to those that's not of our culture, but y'all got to realize everything is based off of our culture. So you're a part of it too. You see what I'm saying? And we have made y'all a part of everything we ever touch by giving it back to y'all. So it's time for us to get ours. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's time for us to get our turn. You dig?
Exactly.
That's right. Absolutely. So that's why, Miss TV, we coming to the end of our show. Go ahead and shout out you all's business, because you all are some hard, y'all black labor is hard work too. And go ahead and shout out y'all's businesses because, hey, we all gotta recognize. That's the reason why it is that I posted once before. I'm gonna shout it out now. Hey, sponsorship. Even though it is, you can pay and it's not like it's a whole lot. You can pay money to be advertised on Why Not Say It. So if you got a small business, hey, come through. Support Why Not Say It. We're going to support you all. And we will dedicate a little bit of time for your business to be advertised.
Yes. Shout out to Panther Soul Creators, the t-shirt and jogging suit company. Shout out to My nephew down in Texas. What is it, Shell? I want to pronounce it right.
Kula Nola.
Kula Nola. When I say if you into granola,
The best.
man,
Elvis.
I'm talking about he makes everything from hand, from scratch. When I say it's the best, it's the best. Shell, give them the website, because I just got a feeling that some of my viewers that's on my live is finna go to Kula Nola and order some of his stuff.
It's kulanola.com.
Kulanola.com.
You can find him on Instagram, and then he does have his own webpage.
Yes, yes. Fast Lane, what's the name of all your? You got a gang up too.
Shout out to Exotic Nature's Designs. Shout out to Godspeed Detailing. And shout out to Skyscrapers Carrier Service. And shout out to Fast Lane 747, because I'm a walking business myself.
You better know it, baby.
Absolutely. Absolutely you are. Yes. And hey, y'all go out there and like, support, share, because I've been sharing a lot of Fast Lane's music on my Facebook page and been getting a lot of likes and so on. I even been watching how his likes were going up. So go out there and hey, support Fast Lane. Like his music. It is the real deal. It really is.
We can some of us do good business. So, you don't have to be scared to shop at all black people business, because everybody, and even the ones that messed up, you still got to give them a chance along the way. Maybe they messed up and they just got to, get that kink out. But some of the businesses that's black owned, or, they're doing their thing. Shout out to all black businesses I support. And till the next time, we're going to have a great topic next Friday as well. Tune in, call in, 515-599-1687. If it's a topic that you all would like to hear, get at us. We'll talk about it. Why not say it?
We're going to shout out real quickly to Justin, Overtime Studio, My City, My Music. Because, he a soul brother, because he's giving that opportunity 100. And platform to other brown skin people to be able to broadcast. So,
and I'm gonna give a shout out to all of our guests that have came on Why Not Say It since we've been started back in October. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for supporting. Keep supporting.
And we'd love to have y'all back.
Yes.
Why not say it? If it's on your mind, call in and say it.
Say
we ain't on no
baby.
bougie time. It's real time over here.
It's real time over here, baby.
We can talk about it. This is an outlet for you to speak your mind. Yes. Why hold it in? You ain't even got to say it's you. Just call and talk to us.
Exactly. If you want to stay anonymous, you can be anonymous. Just holler at us. We got Fast Lane 747, Miss Mink out of the ATL, and of course y'all know who I am, Mrs. Kiwi in the building, baby. Till next Friday, same time.
Why not say it? Good night.
Holla at us. Thank you. Appreciate it.